Okay, let's see. Hi, Kristen, how are you? Do I have everybody muted? I don't mean to have everybody muted. How do I do this? Back to chat. Good. Oh, everybody's just starting to get in. Fabulous. See waiting room. Admit, admit. Welcome, everyone. Oh, everyone's starting to come in. I love this. This is fabulous. Hello, hello. Oh, and here comes Eva. She's never late. I love her. Okay, let me get everybody. I'm going to unmute Eva so we have that. And people are just starting to come in. Hi, Eva, honey. How are you, baby?
I'm good, Jacob. How are you?
I am so excited to actually. Oh, you got your red glasses on, so your power glasses.
No, I found these in a drawer. Hi, everybody. Because my other ones are broken, and I want to show up looking like a homeless person. So,
you know what's funny is you're gonna love this line because and this is when I started to dress better. Actually, I was believe it or not, I wasn't always so glamorous. I know it's hard to believe. I would show up to my dance rehearsals with one of my former dance partners, Brittany. And would you please turn that down, please? And I would be wearing like practice clothes, right? And she looked at me one day and she said, "It always amazes me how unattractive pretty people can be." And I'm like, oh. So from that point on, I wore all black. Like, thank you for that. So welcome, my dear. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody. Who's on here that I know?
Actually, know quite a bit.
Michael. Hey,
Michael. So Michael's on here. Pamela.
Michael, as a photographer's wife, I would tell you the backlighting doesn't work, honey.
Backlighting? I don't even know if I have that. That's not even fancy. That's just.
Oh my God, I can't even tell you how many times I've gotten red on the lighting.
Well, I was trying to invite Peter to this, and apparently I don't have him on Facebook. I feel like I failed somewhere in life that way.
So, okay, he made me my coffee. We're good.
Going live on Facebook now. So if you guys are here, if you're also on Facebook, if you give it a thumbs up, apparently this little secret to all of you guys, as you're starting to do things in your business, if you get people to interact and they give thumbs ups during your video, apparently that is what promotes the algorithm to put you on people's feeds and gets you out there. So that's going to be helpful for you guys as you're doing your own business strategies. So anyway, so I am so glad you guys are here. Eva is my high performance coach and a dear friend. When I decided to get my nonprofit up and running, I was having a day and I just called my friend Eva and I was like, I'm a little overwhelmed. I don't know what's going on. And she was like, well, let's talk about it. So from that conversation, she asked me if I would like some high performance coaching, which she was doing. And I said yes, and I signed up, I enrolled, and let me tell you, the only reason why I am actually sane during running a nonprofit that I'm just starting during a global pandemic is because of the work and the tools that Eva has given me to get this going. And I cannot say thank you enough to you, Eva. You have been a blessing.
Oh, you've been a delight to work with, hon. And, I know with your big vision, if anyone out there who has a big vision knows that they were meant for more, to do more, be more, have more, going it alone is really the slow way to do it. And so, you know what, time is something that we don't get back when we lose it. Money, we can lose money and figure out a new way to get it and earn it. But, if the universe hasn't told us anything, and Jacob and you and I were a little bit ahead of the curve in getting you ready to be prepared to rise to the new challenges that COVID-19 is having us face. So, I really appreciate working with someone who is ready to get their vision off the ground, who is ready to stop the wait and see and the procrastination. And when the world is perfect and there's world peace, and like, no, what do I need to do now to move forward? So,
when all the stars have aligned.
That was the story my husband gave why he didn't want to marry me at that point. Well, there's no world peace yet. Like, really?
That's a very German response.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Eva, let me give you a little bit about her background. Eva comes to us having a varied career. She was a dental hygienist for several years, for a career dental hygienist.
Several.
What was that?
Several. That's so sweet. Like over 38 years, guys. Like no joke.
See, this is the problem, white cracks. So people can tell my age. You will be timeless forever. And what happened was she was, well, why don't you tell your story, honey? You do it better than I do.
Well, it's the story of my relationship with Elite Legacy Education, where Jacob and I met, and where I also met Michael, and probably a couple of you on this call as well. But when I was preparing to celebrate my 50th birthday, I was downsized from my job, and I had a really good paying job, and this was in 2010. And for the first time in my life, I was really scared about how I was going to pay the mortgage. I had 2 kids in college. I was actually newly married at the time. I was only married a year. But what I did know is that I did not want to be dependent on a job for the rest of my life. I didn't want to ask permission to take a vacation or to have a day off or to travel or anything that comes with that. Especially at my age, it was getting a lot harder to tell me what to do and when I could do it. And that's when I was looking for opportunities to create a lifestyle of freedom and income that I came across Elite Legacy Education. It was Rich Dad Education at the time, and made the investment in myself to learn real estate investing because anybody could do it, you know, any age, any race, any gender. And it really spoke to me about how I can build my wealth through real estate. But here's the kicker in all of that. Because I'm such a driven personality, I was still working as a hygienist. I was taking all of the classes, going on demand, traveling to the classes, studying, you know, doing the action plan, taking the steps. I was in that energy, that busy energy of doing, 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 doing. And in that process, I became burnt out, stressed out, and overwhelmed because, yes, I was doing laundry, I was doing all the cooking, I was doing all the shopping, and I was just like any driven person to be successful, I was sacrificing my health, my mental well-being, and my relationship. And I share that with you because even though we had the success that came with the committed action, I didn't take the time to take care of myself in the process, and other areas of my life were starting to break down. And that's when I got into personal development and leadership training and eventually coaching in it. But what I want to say about real estate and the passive income opportunities as well as the active income opportunities in real estate is it's the reason why we're not panicked during this COVID-19. Yes, we have rental real estate. Yes, we're not sure how long our tenants will be able to pay, but we also have multiple streams of income, multiple exit strategies that we learned during the time we were getting educated in our real estate investment career. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And there's so much that you're so transparent with what you go through. And the thing that I've always admired about you is your honesty. Did I lose you? Can you hear me?
No. I was just opening up the chat.
Got it. Marlon. So one of the things you're so transparent with it. And it's more about when people start getting into investing and we all get so out of balance of trying to find the way to be successful and the way to make the most money and to get out of debt and all this part. And I've learned, thank you to about the coaching that you've been doing with me, is that wealth isn't just financial. It's about having a healthy life. And that's your physical health, that's your financial health, that is your mental health, that is your relationships with other people. And having that mindset, actually, now that I'm doing that in so many ways, instead of slowing my business down as I used to think it would if I was doing all this stuff, it's actually speeding everything up. Like when everything gets in line with itself and with you and your vision, everything just kind of like amplifies. And it's crazy. I
know. We always think that we don't have time to take care of ourselves because we're in such committed action with getting and doing and achieving, and which has us not show up. You know, we talked about this before, not be on our A game for the people who need us to be on our A game. And the number one person who needs us to be on our A game is ourselves. You know, like for sure, if we are not there for ourselves, honoring the vessel that we have been blessed to live in and to contribute and to support other people in, we can't pour from an empty cup. And, you know, if you notice in your relationships, I did a Facebook Live on my business page, Personal Coach for Success, by the way, if you want to join my business page. little shameless plug there, on relationships. And, you know, especially being in the area where we're all in such maybe close quarters, and maybe although we love the person that we've chosen to be in partnership with,
sometimes.
Exactly. Their little foibles and quirks are just now a little bit more exasperated and amplified. You know, being in quarantine with people. And I see it in my own relationship, although we have done so much work and had coaches and mentors and training to help us walk through those difficult areas, that they don't last long and they're not detrimental to the health of our relationship. But my point in sharing that with you is how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you were someone who is in progressive nature anyway, you're always moving forward and keeping the main thing the main thing. And what I mean by that, not having the distractions that pull you away from your main goal, but really staying focused on moving forward. That's exasperated when you have these kind of challenges like we're facing with COVID-19. You're like, okay, what do I need to do? How do I develop myself, skill up, and be prepared for whatever comes when we get out of this? But if you're a wait and see, let me see what happens, let me see, I'm not ready yet, I'm not sure, and you're in procrastination energy, that gap is wider now too, because you are in the energy of shrinking and becoming smaller and really playing small, when is an opportunity to show up and play big and be in service and be in contribution. Because the more you skill up and the more money you make, the more people you can help. And then it's not about you anymore. It's about like, you can't help people if you don't got nothing. I mean, yeah, we do what we can, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think Pip uses the example, you know, if you've got $5, $20, or $100, you can eat lunch in all those denominations, but you can have a much better lunch at $100 than you can have at $5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have more choices, more charities you can help, more ways to give back. So you actually get to, ooh, who's Trust Your Talent? That's cute.
That's inside.
Distraction. But yeah, it's about how we show up, how we adopt that role model lifestyle. And people are watching you. They're watching you. They're watching how you walk through these challenges, what you are doing to level up and skill up your life. And it's important to show up on your A game for everybody in your life.
There's something that you've been drilling into me as I've been, for those of you who don't know, and I think everyone here, for the most part, knows what I've been trying to do is I've been starting housing for homeless LGBTQ youth. And my vision is to create a model that can go nationwide. It's a big vision and it's a lot. And even though I had started looking at real estate investing seriously in January 2017, and I worked with amazing people like Eva, like Michael, like Tim, you still have this, you'll fall into this habit of trying to learn so much that you'll never actually do. And something that Eva has taught me is it's not about you, it's about your mission. It's about your vision. So every time I get scared, I have to think, what am I scared of? What I feel is irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. My mission is bigger than my feelings and my fear. So going out there and taking action has been so helpful, and having someone help me pivot and brainstorm during COVID has been just a godsend, because I do feel like I'm making progress. And that's because I've got someone in my corner like telling me not to feel like I'm not worth it. So
There's a book out there by Stephen Pressfield called, I believe it's called Amateur versus Pro. It's a very small book. His first book is called The War of Art, and the second one is Amateur versus Pro. Stephen Pressfield, Pressfeld or IELD, I'm not sure. And basically, when you're all up in your feelings, you're amateur. You know, when it talks about, well, I feel this, and it sounds really millennial, you know, apologies to all the millennials out there, but, you know, a pro is going to take action in spite of the comfort zone issue that we all deal with. It feels stretchy, it feels uncomfortable. Yes, but, yes, and does it move you towards your vision? Is it a bold action you can take? You know, in high performance coaching, we always talk about what bold action can you take today? We talk about courage a lot, the courage to speak up for yourself, the courage to speak up for others, and the courage to move forward in your dreams and goals and what you want to have success in. And so, you know, if you just set one thing that you can do that's a bold action for you every single day, it will move you towards your dreams and goals. So what bold action can you take? Like, I do that every morning. I've got a planner here right next to me, and every day it talks about the morning mindset piece that I go through, what I can get excited about today, the kind of person I want to be. Like, who do I want to be? What words describe the best of who I want to be and how I want people to describe me as? Who needs me on my A game? Who do I get to show up the best version of myself that I can? Who can I make a difference for today? And then we talk about, okay, so there are things during this day that may trip me up or stress me out. How can I best deal with them? How can I set an intention to have an outcome? Like when you're in a situation where you need to have a difficult conversation or anything like that, you know, it's about creating a win-win, not so much as you winning and the other person losing, or the other person winning and you losing, but who do you get to be in those conversations? How do you get to show up? How do the other people feel? It's more about the process than the outcome. People want to feel acknowledged, right?
mm-hmm.
Appreciated and heard in any conversation. And if you can't be the type of person where people feel safe with you to be authentic and real, that they feel that you're listening, that you're hearing them, as I cut off Jacob, sorry about that. But that you don't have to agree, but you hear and you can acknowledge them. I'm sorry, honey, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm just listening to what you have to say, because there's so much, we've had so much from everybody about different strategies through real estate. We've talked about different business practices. And the thing that I feel is always so missing and people get sick of hearing is your mindset and who you are, who you show up. Do you show up for yourself in your business, or are you taking shortcuts? And that's something I'm loving that you're talking about. And I know that this may not be what everybody's thinking when they come on, but this is just as important as running your numbers on a flip. It's knowing, or more important even, because that transaction is going to go, this right here is going to continue to grow with you. And I have to say that's been a huge help. Eva, who are some of your coaches? Who have you learned under?
Before I move on to that question, Jacob, I just want to piggyback on what you just said, because I know this is a real estate Zoom. And here's one thing that I want to share with my experience when I've been in a situation where there's been more than one bidder on a property. And it was between me and someone else getting the property, whether it's from the seller who is maybe a wholesaler or another investor or a homeowner seller. The feedback that I've gotten from people is, I like you. I want to work with you. You hear me, you listen to me. And that's why, you may not see how this fits into your real estate business, but I remember my very, very first deal after starting my education journey. The wholesaler had an open house with, there were a lot of people, a lot of investors in that open house. And I had worked with one of my Rich Dad coaches to just have the confidence to know what language to use and how to make an offer and all of that. And I connected with the guy, not on real estate, but I started just connecting with him, the wholesaler, as human to human. And actually that was back in 2011 and 2018 or 17, we're still getting deals from him.
Oh,
And he
wow.
calls us first. But I was like so new, like I was 6 months into my education, like right out of the gate. And but he says, you know what, I got a lot of offers on this house, but I like you guys. I want to have a relationship with you guys and work with you guys. And then he also started mentoring us as well and showing us his deals. And then there was one time I was at an elite event and my husband's texting me a photo of this guy sitting in my house holding my dog. It's about relationships. Well, actually, he sold us a house that was right down the street from where we live. And it was like, yes, no commuting. We can walk there. I know the neighborhood. I know the comps. But that's what I mean when it's like, how are you showing up? Are you showing up confident? I was not confident. I mean, I was confident because I believed in the education I was getting and I trusted, but I didn't know what I was doing. We were doing our first flip, but I showed up in a way that people thought we had been doing what we were doing for years. We knew what we were doing and they liked us. And we are in integrity. We are ethical. We do what we say we're going to do and the deadlines that we say we're going to do. When we say we're going to be there at a certain time, we're there at a certain time, because that's keeping your word to yourself and others. So that's what I wanted to share before moving on into who my mentors and people that I look up to. There are many. There are some coaches. I've had some personal coaches that I've hired for me to help me see my way of being that I couldn't see because I was being it, if that makes any sense. I was in it, and to shine a light on myself so that I can show up better and as a better role model for the people in my life. So her name, one of the earliest ones was Joe. And then there's Michael Strasner, who was one of my leadership trainers and coaches. Bigger names out there. I love Brendon Bouchard, who actually certified me in high performance coaching. And he is really one of the most integrous people I've ever met. I just have so many coaches and mentors that I have personally in my life, so that when I feel stuck or I feel, a lot of times when I feel right and righteous, it's nice to have somebody to go to and say, girl, you need to take a step back and take a look at this and who you're being in this moment and how you're showing up, and really have that love me enough to tell me the truth and not worry about me liking them or not liking them or being upset. That's what true coaches and mentors do for you. They show up for you regardless, and they don't care if you like them in the process.
There have been times I've had questions if I liked you after our conversations. I'm just being transparent. Always love you. They're not easy. Not easy. But it's always been super beneficial. So what are some of the things you used to mentor some students? You were one of our phone mentors at the time. What are some of the common pitfalls you find from people who are just getting into real estate, no matter where they're starting from? Like, what are some of the biggest pitfalls you find?
Fear.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest one. They don't trust the process. They don't believe it's going to work because they don't believe in themselves. Obviously they believe in the education because they moved forward and they took it and they see the value in the education. They see the quality of the education that, our company has to offer. but the fear of taking action, fear of rejection. Let me tell you something, guys. Rejection doesn't kill you.
No.
You know, you can't, there's process fear, there's change fear, there's fear for your life. If your life is not in danger by making an offer, your life is not in danger to pick up the phone and make a call. Some people have fear of success, like, oh crap, what if this does work? Then I have to do more stuff.
Right?
You know, I like to say that people are comfortable in their misery, in their mediocrity, because your life will change when you take action. And so what does that change look like? Will I like the change? I mean, I'm okay now, but nothing's guaranteed. I mean, if I was a successful dental hygienist, if I had gotten another job, made good money. However, all dental offices are closed except for emergencies. There's no emergency teeth cleaning out there. Seriously. I would be not a happy camper right now, trying to get on the phone for unemployment. And I'm not saying these are not real problems that people have, but because I set up my life so that, and I intentionally set it up that it wasn't dependent upon me working or having a job. Yeah, there are some new challenges we face, but we know how to walk through those challenges because, number one, we have relationships with the banks. The banks called us after COVID-19. What do you need from us? Would you like us to furlough your mortgages on your properties? Like, you don't get that from, what is it, Chase and Bank of
Wells
America,
Fargo and
America. But, you know, I would have never known to have relationships with smaller banks. And so, like, whatever you need us to do, we'll do. They're calling us because, you know, my husband is great at these type of relationships. He will hop on a plane back in the day, in the olden days, hop on a plane and go out there and meet the bankers and take them out to lunch and show them the properties and what our plans are and what we're doing. We have those relationships to rely on. And if we did not get over ourselves and look at our bigger vision, keep that in front. Like, my biggest fear when I was going through being a new investor was, what if I don't do anything and my life doesn't change? That scared the bejesus out of me. The inaction scared me. So when I was coaching as an inner circle mentor and coach, seeing people let their fear stop them from taking any action, whether it's to send a letter or to make a call or an email, pained me so that I went and got certified in leadership and did leadership training and coaching, because it was more about getting people over the line to take committed action and to believe that their why should be bigger than their why not.
It's the getting off their assets part that needs to get smacked around a little bit. There's so something like you just said, and I think I want to piggyback off of that. People are scared of the change, but what I'm finding as I'm growing my businesses, as I'm investing in my vision, is that I'm in control. I'm in more control of my change and in my growth than I am not in control. Like, I have more control to become the man I want to be than I had ever before. And I think when investors go off, that realization is very overwhelming, because it's like, oh, I have control. I have to be accountable to that. Oh, I'd rather not do. That's too much. Like, when it really starts to root inside of who you are, your old belief systems can't last. So you either have to get rid of them and adopt new ones, or you're going to stay who you are. And right now is the perfect time. I honestly think that there are more opportunities right now because of this pandemic than there ever were before, or I'm just now seeing them. They were always there.
No, people are waking up now. People just got woke the heck up because, like, oh my God, I should have been taking more action so that I'd be further along in my entrepreneurial journey than I am now. But here's what happens when you learn that entrepreneurial journey. You can shift in any climate,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of pivoting happening. You know, if I was a flipper, you know, and I have flipped, I love flipping. I love the design of, you know, renovating and rehab, but also knowing, you know, when to not do it. You know, there's a time for everything, for sure. And I have this formula that I always share with my clients when especially when I do workshops. It's S plus R equals R. So the S is you have a situation.
Okay.
Plus your middle R. Your middle R, this is where you get to choose. You get to choose to react, or you get to choose to respond. So reaction is often a trigger, a knee-jerk reaction, or you know, not taking the time to react responsibly, which is respond. So how you respond, how you choose to respond from the trigger of the situation equals your result or your outcome. And that's the equals R. S plus R equals R. So you're always choosing. You're either choosing not to choose, or you're choosing a reaction or a response. Even not choosing, you're making a choice. Like, I choose to do nothing. I choose to sit back. I choose to watch Netflix. I'm not going to do anything during this time but like bake and pop popcorn and see what else I'm going to get into. And I'm not saying that, you know, literally for the first week or so, that was probably everybody's go-to reaction before we realize, holy crap, this is not going to be over anytime soon. It's not just, ooh, I got a staycation for a couple of weeks, I could ride this out. This turned out to be bigger. So, like, what do you do? For some people, it's okay. It's the input. What do I need to learn? What do I need to know? How can I develop, upskill up? And then there's others of us who know what to do, but don't feel confident giving the output. And that's that I'm not good enough yet. I'm not smart enough yet. It's not perfect yet. So I need to do more. I need more consumption, consumption, consumption.
Excuse
Instead
me.
of contribution, it's time to be in contribution. So what can you can consume, but you've got to contribute now, because you've been consuming. A lot of elite students, as you know, will take class and not do anything. Okay, you've been in consumption. You've been at the all-you-can-eat smorgasbord. It's time to go out in the world and serve and share your knowledge and do whatever it is that you need to do to have output and to be in contribution. So you get to balance it.
For those of you who aren't elite students, just so you know what that means, is we all, Eva and I used to work for an education company called Elite Legacy Education. And we would teach people how to invest in real estate. And we would have Hall of Fame students like Eva. She was one of the mentors for this as well. So when she and her husband actually attained financial freedom through real estate investing, that's when she started really scaling up her business and her life, just because she realized that wasn't everything to it. So just putting that into perspective of who Elite is, so people aren't, you know, they're there. So on that note, Eva, what are some of the opportunities you're finding right now that people could consider and how they can pivot in their business?
Well, it's funny because my husband is German, which means he eats, sleeps, and drinks research. So he's been researching a lot of that. I mean, one of the things that we had talked about and procrastinated on was investing in AI, emotional intelligence. But I know that this is for real estate. So for real estate, people are still moving real estate. There are still opportunities. There is still money out there. There's still people who need to invest. People will always have a place to live. But one of the areas that Peter and I are looking into with our latest acquisition is, you know, some type of social housing model, because there are going to be some underserved areas that are going to be hugely impacted in the housing industry for this. So if you've got an opportunity to create something where the I would say can get some government or grant assisted help to house people, personally, I believe that that is something that people should start looking into and acquiring. You may have some tired landlords out there who don't want to ride out this, all of my tenants are not paying anymore. And, this may be the thing that makes them give up. So if you can get into some multifamily or homes with a lot of rooms in them that you can use for social good, I think would be a good opportunity as well. And there'll be more opportunities unfolding. I would recommend that you just stay abreast of trends and of forecasting in the market as well. But always, this is the time to create those relationships.
I agree.
And opportunities come more through relationships than people who know of somebody that, because you're a solutions solver. Real estate investors solve problems. People are going to be having problems. Make sure that you are skilled up in all of the ways that you can solve people's problems for them.
I think that's wonderful. And again, talking about that network, those relationships, that's why we're trying to do these every week, 3 times a week, just so people get used to seeing each other. They get asked questions, they get a network, and we can all help and support each other. I don't think this is streaming on Facebook. It won't, for some reason, go live. I am trying, guys. I'm sorry, just so you know. But if it's not working, I don't know what's going on, but we're trying. Anyway, something else I wanted to talk to you about, so what is the deal you're talking about? Is that the one in Arizona that you guys are?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Can you tell us about that deal and what that looks like?
Yes, we just purchased, I don't know if it was an off-market or an on-market deal. We bought one last year in Arizona that was off-market. I think this one was on-market, but we had looked at it before, or at least Peter had. And 6 townhomes on 2 lots, currently being rented to university students. So it's a total of 32 bedrooms.
Okay.
And so each room is rented. It's a turnkey property. And there were, with colleges being closed earlier, I think, some people did choose to either not renew their lease or end their leases early. But right now, I think everybody paid for March and April, I think. So I think we're okay there now. I don't know what it's going to look like getting new students in, but because there are 6 individual homes, we can actually look at turning one of the homes into a social housing or, a different type of shared housing opportunity that's not exclusive to students. And so we thought that was a great opportunity for a social housing project as the houses became available or vacant. We can dedicate one to that, and if there's vacancy in the others, we can put all the students in. What did I say? We have 6 houses. I haven't seen it yet. Full disclosure, I've seen photos.
Wait a minute,
really
you bought
pretty.
a property you haven't seen?
I bought a property I haven't seen.
Yeah. All the numbers. And look at Marie. She's
oh my God, how scary.
Oh my God, terrifying. And it's funny because people
But you know what? Here's how we buy properties. We buy properties based on where we want to visit, so that it is a tax write-off for us to go play golf. We love playing golf in Arizona. And we love Arizona. We have friends in Arizona. We'll rent a car. We'll drive around. We'll stay at a nice, timeshare resort. We have timeshares. And we have real estate. And so, that's why it's either where we like to visit for vacation or where we have family. Both of my daughters are in properties that I own because A, it got one of them out of the house, and B, it prevented the other one from coming back after her divorce. So strategic investing. What can I do to ensure that my children never ever come home again? Love you, but no. And true story.
It's like, yeah, honey, I love you back. Got it.
I bought a place in Washington, D.C. I live in California, for those who don't know. And my daughter was living in Washington, D.C.
Let me unmute Eva. There we go. I unmuted Eva. That was a mistake. Here we are. We're back. Someone's having some Doritos.
I've done that on Zoom calls. I've been that girl. The worst is when somebody is on their phone and they go to the bathroom and realize they haven't muted
Oh,
themselves.
have you seen those videos where people post that, like they're on a work call and someone goes to
Yeah.
pee, and like literally, right, everybody's on the call is like,
What?
Lisa, Lisa, your video's on. Lisa.
Ooh,
And everybody,
haven't done it with video yet, but
and
at
that was
least
always a surprise to me because I didn't think girls went to the bathroom. I'm one of those individuals. So,
I'll
so,
stop.
one thing I wanted to talk about, I've meant to share with you earlier this week, and I wanted to share with the group here too. Finding you, and it sounds so cheesy when people talk about finding your why. It just sounds so esoteric. It sounds hoity-toity. It sounds like you need to be passing a bowl around a campfire outside of Lilith Fair. It just sounds so nonsensical at times. What I have found, instead of saying, determining like finding your why, I'm like, okay, why am I doing this? We have ways of framing it. Like, once money is no longer an object, what would you do? Who would you serve? And why? Why do you want to do that? That's one way of framing it. But there's been something that I've learned recently, and it's about creating your vision and letting yourself, give yourself permission to dream bigger. And there's one of the shows I recently just got addicted to. I don't watch a lot of television at all. I really don't. I'm usually building something or learning something. But Apple TV just released something called Home. It's a new series. And I think this is one of the most influential shows if anyone is interested in real estate in whatever capacity and in design. It really shows you how people take houses and turn them into homes. And every story has a why. And it's not spelled out, which is why it's effective. It's clear, it's relatable, it's very easy to identify, but it's visual. So if you're having a hard time yourself remembering why you decided to get into real estate and why, or stock investing, or really just taking control of your own life, I really recommend that series. One of them is about a man, they built their home for their autistic son. And it's not just about the autistic son or the home, but it's about how the house and the son made it a home. Another episode is about this man in the South Side of Chicago. I love this guy. He came from an underprivileged area in Chicago in the South Side and bought a house, and he made it into, he started buying up buildings in his neighborhood to preserve Black culture. And it didn't start that way, but it became this movement, and people got behind the movement and helped him build these new iconic structures. And the last one I just finished watching was amazing. It was about this woman who is in Bali, and everything she makes is made out of bamboo. And they are castles. They are gorgeous. And her why was to do something eco-friendly and sustainable. So those visions, and that's the thing that's interesting, when you identify something bigger than you, people want to help. When I identified that I wanted to do something like this nonprofit, Eva wanted to help me. She wanted to be there and support me. That's why all of you guys are here. Honestly, you guys are trying to support something bigger. And I'm also trying to get back to you at the same time. So the whole point of this, Eva, is I want you to share, how do you help people identify what their vision is, what their why is?
Well, when I coach a client, we really have a series of questions that draw it out, because there are some people who are not clear of what they want or even why they want it or what their big dream and vision is. But I believe that it's something that's in everyone. And maybe for whatever reason, they buried it, they've forgotten about it, they hadn't thought about it in that way, or they don't believe it's possible, so they don't even think about it. And so when we do the high performance coaching, it really is a series, it's a curriculum. And it is a series of sessions, 12 one-hour sessions that really work on being clear, clarity. I tell you, there's 5 areas we work in, and I'll just share that with you. It's your clarity, it's your energy, which is your mental clarity and your mental health, and your physical energy and stamina. The courage to speak up for yourself and others, the courage to take bold action in the pursuit of your goals and dreams. There's the productivity piece. It's minimizing distractions that don't forward your goals, and also how to put on that you're streaming live on Facebook, it looks like. You figured it out. Only 40 minutes into it. I'll come back another time. But just, where was I? Productivity, minimizing distractions, and competing interests that take you away from your focus and dreams and goals. And the influence, which is the relationship pieces, which is one of my superpowers. And how do you enroll others into your dream? Because we can't do anything alone. It really does take a village. You can't, a lot of people want to do it alone and go it alone, but you don't have that support. You don't have other people's eyes on it. You don't have the people who challenge you and stretch you, because left to our own devices, we'll stay comfortable and we'll do it at our own convenience and at our own time frame. And when it feels right, we're going back to our feelings. And like, if you've got a coach or a mentor, it's like, yeah, no, you're going to get up and do that right now. Declare by what and by when. That keeps you moving forward. I love the by what and by when. And it's just the, not only the curriculum, but the worksheets that actually we work on together. And after the session is over, that gets you to go deep and really uncover what it is that's important to you, and how can you create these extraordinary results in your life. Because for me, my big why was freedom. It really was not about what I do, because I wasn't clear on what I wanted to do. But what I did was I started taking action towards something, and then it was just like, yeah, no, that's not it. When I first started coaching, I was specializing in coaching midlife women. And I had a couple of clients and got a year into it, and I was like, that doesn't really light me up. Love you, but I may not be the right coach for you, because I wasn't excited about it. And then when my relationship was in breakdown, and the work that we did and the people that we worked with and what we discovered about ourselves, it was so enlightening to me and so amazing, but so, I don't want to say easy, because it is simple, but it wasn't easy. It was hard. I got really excited about helping people have that in all the relationships in their lives, whether it's your parents, your siblings, your children, your coworkers, your boss, and your significant other. And so I got really excited about that. And I love that. That's one of the favorite parts of the work that I do. But to add in the high performance piece, the relationship piece really looks at your early life experiences and how they show up to damage your present relationships and how you're showing up in life. And the high performance piece moves you into your best possible self, your future self. And so we don't spend a lot of time in the past, but the past is really important to recognize the part it plays in how we are living today. But let's take that and develop the habits of high performance so that we can achieve anything we want in life, whatever that is. And in that process, your why becomes clear, your goal, your mission, your purpose. But that may not be what you do next year. So don't get stuck on that piece. Because in the committed action, you'll realize, I thought this was what I wanted, but maybe not. Or yes, this is what I want. Or I want more than this. Why am I playing small, and why am I holding myself down and being small? So leave yourself open to whatever you discover while you're on the journey of life.
It's actually funny you said that, because on our last coaching call, so again, about what we're working on, she's saying this, let me tell you, my first 3 calls on relationships, I was full on ugly crying. Like, there was snot coming out my nose. My eyes were seriously leaking. It was not cute. So when you have those calls, you're going to learn some stuff. Hey, I'm being honest here. Okay. If I can't be honest here, where can I be? But the whole point of it is, as you're starting to uncover certain things, you're learning more about your vision, and your vision gets clearer and clearer. It's kind of like going to the optometrist or the ophthalmologist. They keep putting the different glasses in front of you, see is 1 or 2, 1 or 2. And then it keeps refocusing, which is really very cool. And on my last coaching call with Eva, I was saying, okay, my original vision has been to have homes that I can have these houses and to help this community and then help scale that. But then I'm realizing, well, I can't go out and do as much right now with COVID. And through our conversation, I realized that I want to put a lot of this information on social media so that these kids who are being kicked out right now because their parents are driving them crazy and they're all fighting, they have access to resources they know were there. So adapting that model was, I wouldn't have thought of that had we not been having that conversation. And I think that's going to help me help even more people in a different way than just real estate. So that's why I just want to piggyback on and say, hey guys, you're going to grow, it's going to change, it's going to adapt. So that's exciting, right? Does anybody
and let's not get attached to what it should look like. So don't be shooting on yourself, but know that, but know that, you know, if we haven't been taught anything in COVID, is a need to shift and pivot when necessary. How we walk through these moments when things don't look like, but it wasn't supposed to happen that way. You know, well, is it still moving towards your goal, or is your goal still relevant? You know, what is the feeling that you want to have? Paint the picture, paint the scene of what it feels like when you are helping these LGBTQ youth, when you are saving them, saving their lives, literally saving their lives, not figuratively, but literally, and giving them a skill that they can develop and grow and pay it forward, because it has the ripple effect. I was talking to a client yesterday whose goal and vision is for, she's going to be teaching, she has a certain amount of women I think she wants to train to make $1 million in their business, and they're all entrepreneurial women. Awesome. Could you imagine what those women can do and how many they can help with the income that they bring into their own businesses? Because a lot of it is about giving back, but also she gets to share what she learned in her high performance coaching with these women, because y'all know building a business, if y'all are entrepreneurs, is going to stress you out, burn you out, and overwhelm you at several times during the day, your week, your month, your year. You can't let it take you out. Can't let it take you out.
That's so well said. And the thing is, I think what we're all noticing is we're stronger than we think. We're all stronger and like, you can do this stuff. I was looking at my Instagram feed this morning, and I was going through just seeing people who I know. And of course I'm following different people because my performance coaches had me reach out outside of my comfort zone to people who can help me, who I have no idea who they are. And so I was trying to reach out to Adam Lambert, as you do. And of course that has everybody else who I know that knows Adam Lambert comes up on my feed as nuts. One of them.
What? Wait, rewind. What did you just say? You have people that are connected to Adam Lambert that could possibly help you?
Yeah, my roommate of 7 years in Chicago went to school with Adam Lambert.
Mic drop.
I know. So he's working on that. Yeah.
Can I say I told you so to Jacob in front of everybody?
Well, why ask? Just do it. So still haven't got a hold of it. We're working on it. But I had a moment where and this is something that you taught me too, where I started looking and I saw like Travis Wald, who I actually used to know in Virginia before he became a famous choreographer. And he just got nominated for all these Drama Desk Awards and all these other glamour gays that we know. And here I am going, I feel like I didn't take advantage of opportunities. This is why they're so much further ahead. That's when I heard Eva's voice in my head saying, stop shooting it. Stop shooting all over yourself, because I'm where it should be, and I'm building, I'm moving the needle forward. I'm carving my own path, just like they did. And I don't have to be who they are. I need to be me, because if I build my business based on my principles and my ethics, people will look at me the same way that we look at them. And there's no shame in that. And I'm proud of that. So thank you for letting me have peace of mind at 6 o'clock this morning when I would have been otherwise doubting myself. So
you know what's funny on that? But may I share one more thing?
Yeah, honey.
Is that okay? I don't know what our time limit is, but I was on a call with my cousin yesterday because Monday was the 1-year anniversary that my mom suddenly passed away, and my cousin was very close to my mother as well. And I was just having a moment where I didn't know how to be, what to do, what to feel, and chose not to stay in that space alone, but did reach out. But I also knew that, you know what, I think I just want to take this time to myself and not talk to a lot of people who want to support me. I'll talk to them tomorrow. And so I get this message from her, and I called her and we started talking. And one of the things she revealed to me was like, don't you know that in our family, everybody has you on a pedestal? Like ever since we were little. And I'm like, wait, what? You
Oh,
know, like here I am, I'm from Patterson, New Jersey, from the ghetto, even though I was insulated. I was in my little bubble in the ghetto because my dad wouldn't let me out. And he was a cop. I was well protected. But I was like, I had no idea. She goes, yes, I want to tell you, and I've never told you this before, but everybody looks up to you and has you on the pedestal. I'm like, but y'all grew up with me when I had the braces and the pimples and, you know, like, what the hell? Where is this coming from? And I actually tell you, it knocked me off my rocker a little bit because, you know, I babysat for this girl. And, you know, we went through so much together and marriages and babies and all of that. And she's my little cousin, but my little cousin is 50. I'm going to be 60. And I'm just like, and I have like 30 cousins. She goes, yeah, child, all of us. We'll talk about what would Eva do in this situation? What would Eva say? And so what I want to say to you guys, as entrepreneurs, people are watching you. And if you get nothing else out of this, adopt a role model mindset. Show them how it's done to walk through challenges, to walk through adversity and changes. And when things don't work out as they should, or as you think they should be, show them how it's done, because you never know who's watching you. I had no idea that my cousins felt that way about me. I'm just like, I'm just a regular person. It's not like I went and made a rap album and became famous. You know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And then I realized, you know what? We are role models for so many people in our lives, whether we're famous or not. And so we really get to role model the way for people. And, you know, even if it's being vulnerable and reaching out for support in places that are uncomfortable for you to ask for support and reach out, you know, that itself is a role model mindset. Showing the vulnerability, showing the feelings, and knowing that there's no successful person in this world that got there alone. They all had coaches and mentors, every last one of them. And with that, mic drop.
it's funny because I use the analogy, if you've ever popped champagne for one, it's a lot less gratifying. It's not called alcoholism. Or gay brunch during COVID. So different story. So guys, do you guys have any questions? I'm gonna unmute everybody. So if you're chewing, mute yourself back. But if you have any, I want you guys to have the ability to ask Eva some questions. So I'm gonna mute you. If you've got questions, go ahead and ask.
Hi, Eva. No questions to ask, but I seriously love you sharing.
Hey, Marlon.
Hi. You're a big part of the reason why I joined up with Legacy when we had that conversation, and you're in New York and you sharing your story. So thank you for that.
It's nice to see you. You were with Sasha, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I see her show up on Facebook every now and then responding. How are you guys doing out there?
We're doing good. Yeah, we're just like on shutdown with the entire COVID. So we're in the middle of New York. Everything is very stay at home. So everyone has been in hiding.
Yeah. Well, good to see you. Thanks for joining.
Oh, here she is.
Oh, look, she let her face sing. Hey, girl.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to say hi to you. I could not leave this call without popping on and saying hi. I love you so much. And it's so great to have, you know, two of my favorite people hosting a live event. So I had to stop everything that I was doing today and just jump on and see your beautiful face.
Oh, thanks, love. Good to see you. Good to see
Eva
you.
was the woman who connected Robin and I together, and we became.
I feel like a matchmaker.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, this
Can
is
you do
my
it one
most
more
successful
time?
match ever.
Can you do it one more time? I'm still looking for a husband.
Yeah.
You gotta find
No,
a
but
straight one.
this is about relationships, because Robin and I met at another event related to lending and funding relationship deals, a separate, situation, how I met Jacob. And because I had relationships with both of them and they both lived in the same area and they were both up to big things in real estate, I had them meet each other, so to speak. And then I found out that they're having an affair behind my back, but that's no, we all know that's a joke. But what I'm saying is it's all about relationships and people and collaboration. You do not have to be in any of this alone.
It really is. And I really appreciate the fact that you bring up relationships, because for me, myself, I'm a total control freak. I think that nobody else can do it the way that I can do it, and I have to handle everything.
Can anybody else relate to that? Please show of hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so it really is not just you, love.
Exactly. And I have to say, for the past year, I really dove into the fact that I can't do this all by myself, and I really do need people. And since I switched my mindset, I stopped working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, number one, which is so crucial to your mental and physical health. But two, I'm able to accomplish so much more. And sometimes Jacob and I will just talk and we just collaborate on just ideas like, okay, like COVID. Okay, now how do we shift our business? How do we do this? And sometimes I'm so in my own head and my own brain space for my company. He'll come in with just a fresh vision, and he doesn't even have anything to do with my company, but it's just nice to have a person in your life that you can just come to and just be with. So right on. Everybody needs a person.
It's like a masterminding and brainstorming is amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds like you described a trading partner, because in trading we have that too. You have someone that you bounce that idea off, or if your mindset gets off and you're making reckless trades, that you have someone that can say, what are you doing? You shouldn't be, taking these risks. So, and I didn't have any questions for you, Eva. I just wanted to say thank you, because I've heard you on some of the legacy calls, but I'm on stock team. But getting back into real estate through all this, and you're saying, your past defines you. We've done a flip 3 years ago, and we haven't done anything since because it was so horrible and we lost so much money 4 years ago. Anyway, so it's just getting back in here, and the blessing that COVID is that we can do these online, that we can hear, that we can be encouraged, that we can get ideas. That didn't happen when we were so busy on the road and busy helping other students that, our businesses didn't always get to succeed. So, I mean, I've been off the road since November, but it was just watching everybody going back to focusing on their own business and, making use of the time, not just catching up on Netflix.
Yeah, and learning how to create a both and not have your life be an either or.
Yeah.
Is really, really crucial, because, I know when I would be out on the road and getting texts about real estate. Fortunately, I had my husband, who's also my business partner in real estate, here, and I would have him follow up on the lead or send it to him. So that's where the collaboration and partnerships, like, check this out. And then, and next thing you know, we're in contract in a house. And I have a spouse who gets in analysis paralysis. I'm like, get it on their contract, then we'll figure out if it's a deal or not. And it's, it's hard when you have a little bit different. That's why we have each other. Did I hear something?
My husband asked, what did I do this time? He saw me pointing at him.
It's like the husband who wakes up. Did I do anything wrong yet? I'm sorry. First words, I'm sorry, honey.
Good man.
Yeah, we're blessed with that. But yeah, just to have, sometimes people can't see what's going on when they're in it, and it takes that collaboration of someone who, number one, is not afraid to tell you the truth. That's how you know they love you. They're not afraid to say the truth, and not to hurt you with the truth, but to help you grow in your greatness, because we see you, we see your greatness, we see what you can do, we see what you can accomplish. And we don't want to see you hold yourself back and hold back your gifts from the world. So that's really important too.
I really hope that people who are watching or participating in our talks are seeing that right now, what I want everyone to do is just to arm themselves. Go out there this week, go ahead, find an opportunity, whether that is through real estate or stock or any other avenue that we may not see. If you guys have ideas that you've come across or things you want to share here, please let us know and let us support each other, because I can guarantee you, if you find a property or, for example, and you don't know what to do with it, if you bring it here, we will be able to give you ideas and help you exit that. So don't be scared, go and do it. If you are, like Pamela and I are both brokers, we're both real estate agents. We can, what I'm doing right now, Pamela, by the way, with Robin, is we're contacting old business partners who were buyers and getting them lined up to buy discounted properties that we're finding and just selling to them off market because they're ready to go.
That's great. Make a list.
Make a list.
Make a list. Make a list. Think of everybody that you can help or that you worked with in the past and make a list, then reach out to them and repeat. So guys, I do have to run because I have a check to put in the mail, an old-fashioned check. How fun is that?
Do you have a website you'd like to share?
I mean, a check I have to go to the bank, but I put my email address in the chat. Mm-hmm. If anybody is interested in learning, you know, what I want to offer all of you is actually, if you want to take me up on it, is a high performance session, a complimentary high performance coaching session. So you can get a taste of it and what it's like and what it entails, and see if it's something that would benefit your life or no, because it's not for everybody. High performance coaching is absolutely not for everybody. But if you would love to have a taste of it, reach out to me. I can actually put a link to my calendar in there, but now reach out to me. Reach out to me and let me know if you're interested, and we'll set up a time, and I'm happy to give you a complimentary session because I love Jacob, and I appreciate you guys being I know Kristen had her hand raised, and then I do have to run out for the appointment with my banker.
Kristen? Is she muted? Let me see. I can't see her. There she is. Oh, she has her hand raised. Okay, I'm unmuting you. Hello, Kristen. You are unmuted. I think.
Doesn't look like it.
Hey, no, I had my hand up. I just had my hand up saying I could hear.
Oh, got it. And Jacob, you're unmuted as well.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to say that I really do, agree. I don't have a question because I feel like Eva said a lot of things that I've had in mind, and she kind of solidified, the whole, your why. Same thing with what you said, Jacob. I think the why is exuberantly important, and I think it's important in every aspect of life, not just in real estate, not just in business, but in personal life and personal growth. I think we don't make the changes we need to make until we have a solid why. And I don't think that it's something trivial. I think it's actually one of the most important things out there. And like for me, just as an example, and a personal example, I wouldn't have lost 130 pounds if I didn't have a correct why. I wouldn't have gone through all the work it took to do that, because it takes a lot of work. And the same thing with business. I wouldn't have gone into real estate. I wouldn't be where I am right now if it weren't for Jacob, because Jacob actually sat down and talked to me. And that's the reason why I'm here on these chats. And he even mentioned something about, a fame. And it's one thing I kind of told Jacob a while back. Jacob says something similar to me about, how he's not some famous person or this, that, and the other. And I always said, your fame comes from the influence you have in people. So you are famous in your own circle of people. Like, to me, you're famous, right? Because to me, I know that what you've done and where you've come from and how you've helped me. And now Eva, for example, I hadn't known who Eva was before, but now I do. And now I have her in my mind as also somebody who wants to influence people in a positive way and has already influenced me in a positive way today. So both of you people are famous to us, at least I believe to us in this chat, but at the same time to other people that you've helped in the world. And so I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you, Jacob. You're so sweet. I adore you. So we're going to let Eva go, but before I let the rest of you go, I'm going to fill you guys in with a couple things that are coming up.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Love you so much. Thank you. I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, honey. Bye.
Bye, honey. So a couple of things that you guys need to look forward to and spread the word. So I will be having Tim Sperry coming on Friday. Now, Tim started off as a real estate broker, and he he had an idea one day, like we all do, and he actually created the first paint that removes 96% of the toxins from the air. So if you painted a 15 by 15 square on the side of a building, it will remove the equivalent of 250 cars from the highway for 5 years. It's an incredible product. So I'm not doing it to sell anything. What I'm trying to give you guys every call, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, is something that's theory and educational and mindset oriented, something that is a minority business owner, either female or LGBTQ. That's going to be a live call as well. And then also a disruptor, someone who is disrupting the investment industry by doing something that's eco-friendly, sustainable, or choosing a different model that makes a difference, like a nonprofit. So just to give you guys different ideas to keep blowing your mind and expanding them, I'm also going to be trying to release videos on Tuesday, Thursdays that I'm pre-recording. Tomorrow I'm interviewing, I'm really excited to interview Natalie Egan, a translator. She is a transgendered CEO, and she has gone through transition while being a business owner. So everyone's got questions. If you have questions, send them to me so I can have her ask them for you guys. But I'm really excited about that, actually. So I just want to keep this information going. Please share it with whoever's out there. This is to help everyone. I want everyone to be able to benefit with what we're trying to do and make the world better. Next week, I have Whitney Chafin coming on, if you know who she is. She's incredible, talking about what she's doing here with housing women coming out of incarceration here in the South Florida area. I'm going to have Tim. Tim, are you here with Trust Your Talent?
I'm here.
There you are, handsome. How are you?
Good. Well, everybody looks so summery. I'm in Edmonton, so.
Yeah, that's not my fault, honey. You can leave anytime.
I know. It's a choice we made.
Yeah, Tim is an expert investor as well. He lives in the freezing cold Canadian tundra, and he has been. How long have you been investing in real estate, Tim?
About 10 years now, professionally. Accidentally 16.
Tim was also a mentor and trainer for the company I work for, and now has his own education company teaching people how to invest in real estate. He has also had, he had 2 or 3 students nominated for Hall of Fame this past year. And it's incredible what he's done. He is so easy to understand and so easy to look at. I want your sweater tighter next week. Okay? I'm just out there. Yeah, if you want this to be
He's bad, isn't he? He's bad. Somebody's shaking your head.
If I'm bad, give me a thumbs up. I'm okay with it. Anyway, so yeah, but you're going to be coming on. You're on Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, I think.
Yes. And so you're going to be. What would you like to share with us on Wednesday?
Oh, I pick my brains. I'm happy to share my stories. You know what? Money aside, real estate aside, I think, like you said, it's about making the world a better place, and that's what I really truly believe in as well. And that's why, there's life after the organization that we were all a part of, and we did a lot of soul searching to continue on the mission to make people's life a little better, and that goes way beyond just financial wellness. And a lot of people know that the reason why I'm so passionate about life and building others is because I almost lost my own life 4 times, 3 heart attacks and 1 major depression. So that's really why, the mission is so important. And your session today really, really struck a chord too.
Thank you, honey. And to be very clear, we know that, when you are, and I hope everyone realizes that Tim is Asian, he will look this way until he's 90, and then he's going to turn into the crypt keeper. That's how it works. So he is still incredibly young to have had all these health issues. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. It's like I take a bath in the blood of virgins every night, and my skin still has, I'm not looking too closely. So anyway, does anybody have any questions so you guys know what's coming up? Yeah? Well, guys, you are wonderful. You're the reason why we're doing this. Thank you for being here, and we will see you on Friday. Thank you guys so much. I love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob.
Bye.
Bye.